She fell from the sky like a broken star. The night burned when she hit. Armin had seen meteors before, brief streaks of light across the endless desert sky, but this screamed, not like metal tearing or rock splitting. Like something alive, he ran toward the crash without thinking, because that sound. It wasn't just pain, it was fear. The crater glowed faintly in the darkness, sand turned to glass beneath the impact. The air smelled sharp like lightning and something bitter, and at the center. She was there, not a machine, not debris, a woman, set up. Armin wasn't a hero. He wasn't a soldier or a scientist or someone chosen for greatness. He was just a mechanic who fixed broken things, old trucks, desert drones, water pumps, things that had stopped working but weren't ready to die yet. That was his life out here on the edge of nowhere, where the dunes stretched endlessly and silence was a constant companion. He lived alone in a rusted-out shelter built from scrap metal and stubbornness. The nearest town was 2 days away, the nearest help even farther, so when something crashed in the desert in the middle of the night, there was no one else to check. He climbed down into the crater slowly, heart pounding. The sand crunched under his boots. The glow faded as he got closer, revealing her clearly. She lay half buried in glass sand, her body too still. Her skin shimmered faintly like moonlight caught in water. Not human, not anything he had ever seen. Her hair long, dark, threaded with strands that glowed softly, spread around her like a halo, and her eyes closed. Armin swallowed hard. "Hey," he said softly, unsure why he was whispering. "Can you hear me?" No response. He knelt beside her, careful, hesitant. Up close, the damage was worse, burns, deep fractures. Strange wounds that pulsed with dim, fading light. Whatever she was dying, inciting incident. Armin looked up at the empty sky. No ships, no signs of rescue, just silence. "She's going to die out here," he muttered. And something in him refused to accept that. He hesitated only for a moment, then he slid his arms under her. She was lighter than he expected, but not fragile. Even broken, she felt powerful, dangerous, alive. "All right," he said, lifting her carefully. "I don't know what you are, but you're not dying tonight." The journey back nearly killed him. The desert wind picked up, sharp and cold. Sand lashed at his face, and every step felt heavier than the last. But he didn't stop, because once, just once, her fingers twitched, and that was enough. Discovery. Armin laid her on the only bed in his shelter. It creaked under the weight, not of her body, but of everything she carried with her. He didn't understand it, but he felt it. "Okay," he said, pacing. "Okay, think." He grabbed his med kit. Bandages, water, old antibiotics, useless. Whatever she was, human medicine wasn't going to fix this. He sat beside her, running a hand through his hair. "Come on," he whispered. "You didn't survive that fall just to die in my house." Her eyes opened. Armin froze. They weren't human eyes, they were deep violet, glowing faintly, filled with something ancient and terrifying, and they were looking straight at him. She gasped sharply, her body tensing. "Where?" Her voice was soft but layered, like two tones speaking at once. "You're safe," Armin said quickly. "You crashed, I brought you here." Her gaze sharpened. "Safe," she repeated, almost confused, then she winced, clutching her side. Pain flooded her expression. "You shouldn't have touched me," she whispered. Armin blinked. "Yeah, well, too late now." For a moment she just stared at him, studying him, measuring him. "You are human," she said slowly. "Last I checked." What? Her lips twitched slightly, not quite a smile, but close, rising bond. The next few hours were a blur of tension and fragile calm. She drifted in and out of consciousness. Each time she woke, she seemed more aware, stronger. But also more distant. "What's your name?" Armin asked at one point. She hesitated, as if the answer mattered more than it should. "Lyra." "Lyra," he repeated. "I'm Armin." She nodded faintly. "Why did you fall out of the sky, Lyra?" What? She closed her eyes. "I was not meant to survive." That wasn't comforting. Days passed, or maybe just one long, endless stretch of time. Out here it was hard to tell. Armin stayed by her side. He brought water. He tried to clean her wounds. He talked, even when she didn't answer. "You know," he said one evening, sitting beside her, "I used to think this place was peaceful." She glanced at him, and now... What? "Now I'm pretty sure I've been living in the middle of something way bigger than I understood." She studied him again, that same intense gaze, but softer now. "Why did you help me?" she asked. Armin shrugged. "You were hurt." What? "That is not a sufficient reason." "It is to me." She was quiet for a long time. "You risk your life for strangers." "Not usually," he admitted. "You're kind of a special case." That almost smile again. Over time, something shifted. She began to trust him just a little. She told him small things, not everything, never everything, but enough. "There are others like me," she said one night, "but not like me." "That clears things up," Armin said dryly. She looked at him, and this time she actually smiled. "You are strange, Armin." "Yeah, I get that a lot." But there were moments, quiet ones, when her guard dropped completely, when she looked tired, not physically, something deeper. "You're afraid," he said once. She stiffened. "I do not feel fear." "Yeah," he said gently, "you do." She didn't argue, twist. It happened at dawn. The sky was pale, the desert silent, and Lyra was standing. Armin nearly dropped his tools. Hey, you're supposed to be resting." She ignored him. Her gaze was fixed on the horizon. "They have found me." A low hum filled the air, distant, growing louder. Armin stepped outside and saw them, ships, not one, dozens. Sleek black, descending like predators. "Friends of yours?" he asked. Lyra stepped beside him. Her expression had changed completely. Gone was the wounded woman. In her place stood something else, something vast, unyielding. "No," she said. "They are my executioners." Armin stared at her. "What?" She turned to him, and for the first time he saw it clearly, the power, the weight, the truth. "I am not what you think I am," she said. "I am Lyra, queen of the Aetheris." What? The ground seemed to shift under his feet. "I was betrayed," she continued. "My own people fear what I have become." Armin blinked. "And what have you become?" She looked back at the descending ships, her eyes glowing brighter now. "A weapon they cannot control." Conflict. The ships landed with thunder. Sand exploded into the air. Figures emerged, tall, armored, inhuman, weapons glowing with deadly precision. "They will kill you," Armin said. "Yes," Lyra replied calmly. "Not if I have anything to say about it." She looked at him, really looked. "You cannot stop them." "Maybe not," he said, "but I can try." The first shot hit the shelter. Metal screamed as it tore apart. "Get down," Armin shouted. Chaos erupted. Blasts of energy tore through the desert. The ground shook. The air burned. Armin grabbed an old pulse rifle from his workbench. It wasn't much, but it was something. "You should run," Lyra said. He shook his head. "Not happening." What? She stepped forward toward the enemy. "Then stay behind me." Climax. What happened next wasn't a battle, it was a storm. Lyra raised her hand, and the world answered. Energy surged around her, twisting the air, bending the light. The attackers fired. It didn't matter. Their weapons dissolved before they reached her. Armin stared, stunned. She wasn't just powerful. She was unstoppable. But then, she faltered. The energy flickered. Her body trembled. "They weakened me," she gasped. "Before I escaped." More ships descended, more soldiers, endless. Armin's heart pounded. They were going to lose, unless. He looked at her, then at the enemies, then back at her. "What do you need?" he asked. She hesitated. "My power is incomplete." "Yeah, I figured that part out." She stepped closer, her voice softer now, almost afraid. "I need a core." "Hey, what?" "Life energy," she said. "A source strong enough to stabilize me." Armin frowned. "And where do we get that?" She met his eyes, silence. "No," he said immediately. "No, absolutely not." "It will kill you," she said. "Yeah, I got that part." "They will destroy this world if I fall." He looked around, at the burning desert. At the broken sky, at her. "Figures," he muttered. He took a deep breath. "You better make this count." Before she could stop him, he stepped forward. "Armin." "Do it." Resolution. The moment their hands touched, everything exploded into light. Pain, blinding, endless. Armin screamed, but he didn't pull away. He felt it leaving him, his strength, his life, everything he was, and flowing into her. Lyra cried out, not in pain, but in something deeper. Power surged, stronger than before. Brighter than the sun, the sky itself seemed to crack, and then silence. The enemies were gone, reduced to nothing, the ships. Gone, the desert. Still, Lyra stood alone, radiant, whole, and Armin. Falling, ending. She caught him before he hit the ground. Armin, her voice broke, his eyes fluttered open.